Hello dear students and welcome to the first class in English. The first and the last as well. By the way, this is the package on your Sudan GCE, General Certificate of Education, for third year students. We will have this spotting, we will have this recording, and then we will be able to overlap the pages together. Our package is voluminous today. Our package has your composition, has summary, has grammatical segments on language, and has all of these. Are you ready, dear students? First of all, let us define language as we are going to approach it. We are going to approach language. So let us define it. Language, if you are talking about human beings, language is a means of communication among living creatures. If you are going to get into a definite definition regarding the human beings, you might say language is a means of communication between people. Got what I'm saying? And then you might also be able to follow me on the board. So let us follow each other. This is the package on your final examination, which will take place on Thursday, hopefully at 9 o'clock. First, we will look at language. We will say something about language. So, don't miss, dear students. Language, as we said, if you are focusing on human beings, language is a means of communication between human beings. But if you are talking, generalizing the idea, if you are talking generally, you might say language is a means of communication among living creatures. Because we have birds, animals, reptiles, all these have language, but we do not understand what they say. For example, birds, they chirp. This chirping is a language, but we know nothing about it. So, also reptiles, just like dolphins, fish in seas and rivers, they communicate using high frequency sound language through waves. So, this is a kind of introduction. But let us define part 1. Put the verbs between brackets in their correct forms. The procedure is as follows. What we are going to do is just read out the whole thing, the whole sentence, and then we pause and you might hear the answer. I'm not going to spoon you, dear students. Ready? Number 1. Put the verbs between brackets in their correct forms. 7 marks. First one, while the country people dots migrate to big towns and cities, services are deteriorating in urban areas. Ready? The answer is as follows. While the country people are migrating to big towns and cities, services here are deteriorating in urban areas. Do you know this tense? This is present continuous tense. You use the present continuous tense. Are deteriorating has something to do with are migrating. People are migrating. You see the spelling, M-I-G-R-A-T-I-N-G. You drop the E and then you put I-N-G. Again, while the country people are migrating to big cities and towns and cities, services are deteriorating in urban areas. Number 2, we don't think we don't visit him again. Why? We don't think, the answer is, we don't think we shall visit him again. As if you sent him to Coventry, you don't want to speak to him. So we don't think we we shall visit him again. This is future. This is future symbol. Let's have a look at number 3. At this moment, I don't feel that I have a good chance of passing the exam. Let us hope so. At this moment, I don't feel that I have a good chance of passing this exam. You see, the answer is, at this moment I feel. It will stay the same because words like feel, these are verbs of perception. They don't take ing, They don't take ing. The sentence is in the present continuous tense, but it doesn't take ing. Feel, hear, see is double E. These and the like, these do not take ing because they are verbs of perception. So, at this moment I feel that I have a good chance of passing this exam. Good. Well done. So number 4, I don't already do my exercise and so has Muna. Here you use the present perfect tense. Has or have plus PP. I have already done my exercise and so has Muna. Present perfect tense. Let us tackle number 5. My mother does be in the kitchen now. She is busy cooking food. So, the answer is, my mother is. Be tends to is. My mother is in the kitchen right now. She is busy cooking dinner, cooking lunch, cooking food for us. And let us have number 6, the semi last one. The sun shines by day. The moon dots so by night. The sun shines by day, the moon does so by night. Means the sun shines by day, but the moon shines by night. Instead of this repetition, it might be monotonous. So, for the sake of language, we say the moon shines by night, the sun shines by day, and the sun does so by day. Let us have the last one. The germs can only don't see through the microscope. Here we say can be seen. Germs, bacteria can only be seen through microscope, through the microscope. So can only be seen because you have the auxiliaries. You don't have any addition behind the auxiliaries, as we say. Shall, should, can, could, will, would, may, might, must is also one of those. So you don't have to provide me with addition, ing or ed or whatsoever. Clear? So the germs can only be seen through the microscope. Let us tackle number 2. Add the following suffixes at the end of each sentence to form words which fit in the given spaces. These are 5 marks. Don't lose them, dear students. We have AL, OUS, FUL, FUL, TION, or ATION, TH, ARY, ERY. Sorry, ERY. Here you have to notice ERY. So the first one is be dots when you cross the road. We have care. You have to be care. To be careful. Yeah? The answer is be careful when you cross the road. Be careful when you cross the road. Number 2, Muhammad Ali Clay, that's Cassius Clay before Islam, but when he affiliated with Islam, when he got with Islam, when he dealt with Islam, when he became a Muslim, his name became Muhammad Ali Clay, was dots boxer, famous. Be careful about the spelling of the word famous. F-A-M-O-U-S, you drop the E. But in careful, you leave the E as it is. You don't drop it with regard to number 1. So let us have number 3 now. He enjoys reading dots stories. We have the word tradition. We say he enjoys reading traditional stories. Traditional stories. And then enjoy is one of the 20 words which take gerund after them. He enjoys reading. She enjoys listening. And the like. We will come to that later. So, number 4, I received an dots card from my friend invite. I use some Arabic so that I can ventilate the period for you. I ventilate the class for you. I received an invitation card from my friend. Invitation, you have to be careful about the spelling again. You drop the E and you put A-T-I-O-N. A-T-I-O-N. I said it at the beginning. It is not T-I-O-N. A-T-I-O-N. This is invitation. Number 5. The boat is about 4 feet in. We have the word long, which is an adjective. You have to provide me with the noun here. The boat is about 4 feet in length. L-E-N-G-T-H. 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 T-H. You put T-H. And then you put the addition from your side. Number 6 now. Students buy what they need from the stationery. Be careful about this. Students buy what they need, pens, pencils, books. They buy them from the stationery. Stationery, E-R-Y, you know, stationery, E-R-Y. But the second one, the temperature was stationary, stagnant. Stationary, number 7, is different from stationary, number 6. What's the difference and what's the similarity? The difference is ERY gives you books, notebooks, pens, pencils, stationery, قرطاسية in Arabic. But stationery in sentence number 7 is درجة الحرارة ثابتة. Stationary, ARY, means stagnant, ثابت. So let us move on to number 3. Add the following prefixes this time. Those were suffixes. Where in they? Those were suffixes. But now we tackle prefixes to the words at the beginning of each sentence to form words and phrases which fit here. For example, this is 5 marks also. Over, I am, re, this, and you know, dear student, how to deal with prefixes and suffixes. They have no meaning of their own unless you add them, you put them into sentences. For example, my composition is not tidy. Be careful. The teacher told me to dots it, and you have the word write. To rewrite it, to write it again. Rewrite it means you write it again. Ahmed looks sad and dots today. Ahmed looks sad and unhappy today. Number 3, shops are usually crowded. You have the word crowded before Eid al-Fitr. Shops are usually overcrowded. Overcrowded is different from crowded, you know. Crowded, مزدحمة, و overcrowded, مكتظة. But there are two faces for the same coin, as we say. So let us have number 4. I am busy. It is for me to come at 8 o'clock. Impossible. You put the word, you have possible, then you put I am. Impossible. So for each and every word beginning with P, for pen, you put I am if you want to add a prefix. Possible, impossible. Mortal, immortal. We are mortal. God, the Almighty, is immortal. You see? So you put I am with P and then you put it with other words also. But for the word important, the I am is original. Is original there. Important is not, this word has no prefix. Because I am is the original of the word. So let us have living in the village has advantages and dots advantages. For the second advantage, you say disadvantages. And so on. So let us move a little bit ahead. Choose the suitable word or words from the list below to complete the following text. Number 1 is done for you. And notice for you is written especially to tell you about the pronunciation, to give you a note about the pronunciation. For you. Number 1 is done for you. So let us have, this is also 5 marks, by the way, dear students. he admitted stealing the picture, so please stop hitting him. So let us have admitted is one of the words which take a gerund before them. So he admitted doing what? Admitted stealing the picture, so please stop hitting him. Stop is also stop hitting, stop making, and so on. Number 1 here, which is B. My mother loves dots. Would you mind dots have some wool if you are coming from the market? So you say, my mother loves knitting. K-N-I-T-T-I-N-G, knitting. Loves knitting means stitching. You know, stitching handcrafts. Stitching handcrafts. My mother loves knitting. Would you mind buying her some wool when you are coming from the market? Buying her some wool. Would you mind is also just like stop, just like enjoy, just like love, just like like. You see? My mother loves knitting. Would you mind buying, ing, buying her some wool? Number C, stop making that terrible noise. Be careful about making. You drop the E and you put ing. Stop making that terrible noise. If you carry on, has the ing in its stomach, has the ing in its belly, as we say. So carry on means continuation. If you carry on like that, you will risk losing your job. Be careful again about losing. Losing is here. Lose, you drop the E and you put ing. You will risk losing your job if you carry on like that. So risk is one of, is one of the words which take ing, as we say. Number D, here the gerund will be at the beginning. Eating is unlike drinking, is enjoyed by all. Eating is unlike drinking, or drinking is unlike eating. Anyway, you have to put the gerund first. And the same last one, I like getting up early. I like getting up early. How come is that? I like getting. Be careful about the spelling again. Getting, G-E-T-T-T-I-N-G. G-E-T-T-I-N-G. I like getting up early. Like is a word which takes a gerund. Let us have this one. As a result of an ear infection, he developed a hearing problem. As a result of an ear infection, he developed a hearing problem, And the last one, they went sightseeing, or they usually go sightseeing. Anyway, go takes ing form. They went sightseeing. So let us have something here. If we try to concentrate on your comprehension, that might be reading. Let me read out the passage carefully, then answer the questions after the passage, or the questions that follow. Agatha Christie, this is the comprehension. Agatha Christie was born and brought up in Torquay, in the south of England. She was educated at home. In 1914, she married Archibald Christie, but her marriage broke up. In 1926, you see, in 1930, she married another one. Archibald Christie was the first husband to marry Agatha. But the second one was Max Malone. He was an archaeologist. So she accompanied him on his excavations, digging the earth to get mines, gold, or whatsoever, of sites in Syria and Iraq. During the First World War, she worked in a hospital pharmacy. That was to be useful when she started writing detective stories. Agatha Christie began to write, this is very important, She began to write at the end of the World War, when she created Hercule Poirot, the little Belgian detective with the egg-shaped head. This is description. And the passion for order, saying do this, don't do that. The most popular detective story since Sherlock Holmes. Here she introduced Poirot, Hercule Poirot, in her first detective story, The Mysterious Affair at Styles. This was her first detective story, which appeared in London in 1920. Let us have the second paragraph. She also created another detective, the elderly Miss Marbles. In the next 56 years coming after that, she wrote 66 detective novels. See how useful that was and how active she was. Among the best of which are The Murder of Roger Ackroyd, Murder on the Orient Express, and Death on the Nile, as if she came to Sudan. She also wrote six romantic novels about love, 2 self-portraits, several plays, and the book of poems. Her play, The Mouse Trap, ran continuously in London for more than 30 years. Agatha Christie is extremely talented, extremely clever in designing a story that is full of suspense. You want to turn the pages quickly, dear students, to find out what happens next. She is known throughout the whole world as the Queen of Crime. Let me repeat myself, as the Queen of Crime. Her novels have been translated into every major language, and the money from her books is counted in tens of millions. Most of her novels have been made into films, radio plays, and stage plays. We come to the questions and the answers. As I told you, we will pause and then we will hear the word. We will hear the solution, the result. The first question, give short answers. Don't elaborate. Don't go astray, dear students. Give me very short answers. Where was Agatha Christie born? As I told you, I will pause for a second and then I will provide you with the answer. Where was Agatha Christie born? When I say where is different from when. When I say when was she born, or when she was born, that is different from where she was born. When I say where was she born, I want the place. When I say when was she born, I want the time. Then here the question is, where was Agatha Christie born? She was born in Torquay, in the south of England. In Torquay, in the south of England. Number 2, where did she get the name Christie? She got the name Christie from her first husband. You should say first. If you don't put the word first, that might be wrong, because she married twice. She got married to 2 men twice. You see? So where did she get the name Christie? From her first husband, Archibald Christie. And let us have another one. Let us have another question. Who was the lady detective that Agatha Christie created? She created, of course, 2 detectives, 2 detective stories. One of them was by a man and another was by a woman. So who was the lady detective Agatha Christie created? The answer is Miss Marbles, the elderly Miss Marbles. The elderly Miss Marbles. This is from the passage. And number 4 is it possible to read a book by Agatha Christie in French? Give a reason for your answer. This is very important. This is a compound question, as you say. Is it possible to read a book by Agatha Christie in French? Yes, the answer is yes. Why? Give a reason for your answer. Because her books have been translated into every major language. Because her books have been translated into every major language. And number 5 is, what shows us that Agatha Christie made the most of her time? What shows us that she made the most of her time? Because she wrote 66 detective novels in 65 years. 66 detective novels in 65 years. This is the answer to number 5. Let us have number 6 now. Number 6 is, here we are, we don't have number 6. Unfortunately, we have only 5. Because it's a very nice story and I want it to go through. So let us have the second part of the story. Decide whether the following statements are true or false. Write T for true and F for the false one, for the false statement or answer. 6. Agatha Christie, this is number 1, 6 marks in 3 questions. Each question has 2 marks. Agatha Christie is a world famous personality. The answer is yes. Writer, world famous writer means world famous personality. شخصية عالمية مشهورة. Agatha Christie was educated at home. True. Agatha Christie is known throughout the whole world as the queen of beauty. False, dear students. This is wrong because she was known on all aspects, walks of life as the queen of crime, not the queen of beauty. مشهورة بملكة الجريمة ما ملكة الجمال. So be careful here, dear students. Let us have the last bit. Draw a circle around the letter of the most correct alternative, A, B, C or D. 14 marks, don't lose them, dear students. Agatha Christie worked in a hospital, a school, a pharmacy, a hospital pharmacy. The correct answer, dear students, is number D, the last one, a hospital pharmacy. Because some of you might say a hospital and then might give it right. No, a hospital pharmacy. She worked in a hospital pharmacy. Agatha Christie started to write at, number 1, the end of the World War, the beginning of the World War. She didn't begin to write at all of these. The correct answer, dear student, is number A, the end of the World War. في نهاية الحرب العالمية الأولى. She started to write at the end of the First World War. So let us go ahead here. Agatha Christie is extremely, very talented, brilliant. All of these, none of these. She is talented, extremely talented, yes. She is brilliant, very clever, yes. All of these is the right answer. Number C is the right answer. So, the word talented means nice, having a nice mind, clever, all of these. The correct answer, dear student, is all of these. She was nice, she was having a nice mind, she was clever. So, the correct answer is number D. Let us have number 5. Agatha wrote 66 novels, stories, tales, all of these. The correct answer again is all of these. كل ما ذكر صحيحا. All of these. Why? Because she wrote detective novels, detective stories. Tales means stories also. She wrote tales. Tales means stories. And now let us have the following one. Agatha Christie also wrote 6 romantic novels, 6 poems, 6 tales, none of these. The correct answer again is number A, romantic novels. And the very last one, dear student, is the best title for this passage can be Agatha Christie's book, Agatha Christie's portrait, Agatha Christie's novels. The answer is Agatha Christie's life, which we haven't mentioned. Agatha Christie's life. They look like the same. Agatha Christie's novels. Yes, you studied about the novels. Agatha Christie portrait. You studied about portrait means picture. Yes, you studied about the portrait. You studied about the novels. But the right answer is Agatha Christie's life. So I think for the composition, for the sake of composition, we don't have to go astray. You have 3 paragraphs. The first paragraph on the composition, it is an introduction, مقدمة. And in the introduction you don't have to insert details. ما بعمل تفاصيل في المقدمة. And the second paragraph is about, the second para is about the body. Body, you have to make details in the body. Then you have conclusion, khatima. In the conclusion you have to have the viewpoint, your opinion, right? Your views, the overall viewpoints from other side, from other people, يعني وجهات النظر, and then the solutions if there are any. If there are any solutions, you put them. So let us go ahead. Write a composition on the subject mass media, وسائل الإعلام. Your composition should be between 120 to 180 words in length. It should contain the following points. You may add to them if you so wish, if you like. You can add to them. These are points. So, human beings have a thirst for knowledge. Mass media play an important and vital role in our daily lives, just like the water we drink. Before we go a little bit further down, let me clarify the point. If you have any of the social media which is mentioned here, you have to have this introduction. This is an introduction. It occurs, it comes, it happens in the first paragraph. So, sources of mass media, for example, messages, mobile phones, computers, magazines, newspapers, WhatsApp, emails, information, large number of people. These are the people who use these social media. Radio, television, internet, etc., etc., etc. So let us have number 2. Point number 2. We can obtain information within a very short span of time. Within a very short time. Number 3. The value of time can clearly be seen through these mediums, through these media, through these social media. Advantages: spreading of information, innovations, events spread widely, in all directions, wide areas. They cover wide areas in the world, globally and locally. If handled properly, if you try to use them in a proper way, you might get the best of them. But if you try to misuse them, you might not be able to gain any. So the newspapers, magazines, they are cheap, they are easy to carry, you can read them again and again, and you have time to think about the information they provide. TV is popular, both to see and listen. It is educational and entertaining. Radio was also cheap for all people, no need for electricity, sometimes with the battery only in remote areas, in rural areas. Internet is in urban areas, for example, everywhere, fast. It gives the message fast. Email also, and you have messages, ME, not MA. That will be as tipping on your back. No, this is not messages. Messages, MESSAGES. So, disadvantages of these media: two-weapon tools, سلاح ذو حدين. Magazines, newspapers. Also, the disadvantages المساوئ بتاعتها: only literate people, educated people use them. الناس المتعلمين فقط. Issue daily, transport, distant places, radio needs repair if it breaks down, programmed, passive entertainment, تسلية سالبة. You don't have to take part, only you listen, sit and listen. This is, the disadvantage of the TV. TV steal your time, which you might spend studying or visiting friends or so ever. Power supply, it might get cuts up, but signals, internet misuse, bad influence, young people, open air. These, are the topics, are the points. You make out of them, you make an introduction, then you might also make a body, and then the conclusion. And by so doing, you might be able to write in a better way. You might be able to write in a better way. So this is, as I said, here we are going to know the very last point, or the semi-last point, about summary. Education is the enemy of superstition. التعليم عدو للخرافة. The main reason for believing in superstition is no ignorance. The main reason for believing in superstition is ignorance, الجهل. That is why superstitions are found, نجد الخرافات, where people are less educated. حيث الناس ما متعلمين. Educated people can reason out, بيعقلوا طبعا, ideas and beliefs and accept or reject them according to the reason. According to reason. It is true to say that wherever education spreads, superstition disappears. So, if I'm going to make a summary for this, I would say education is the enemy of superstition. This is number one. Also, in the same line you say, educated people, from here, educated people can reason out ideas and beliefs and accept or reject them according to reason. Now if you count them, you will find them 22 words. And they need 20 words. It doesn't matter. But don't become less. You can add 1 word or 2 words. Don't make them less than that. So, here, and with regard to supplementary readers, I think the matter is obvious. The matter is quite obvious. You read Treasure Island, and then also you read Things Fall Apart, and you might be able to tackle them. We are not going to stop and tackle them here. So letter writing is also easy. It is another form of composition. You have formal letter, رسالة رسمية, and you have informal letter. Now this for this semester we are expecting a formal letter. Write a letter of application, for example, to somewhere you want to get appointed there. So you write, I'm writing to you, for example, I'm writing to you to apply for a job as I have a Sudan GCE, and then you can add to it, you have had a course on computer before, you have had a course on computer for 6 months, for example, you add this, you attach it with your certificate, and then you just apply here and there. It is easy. So let us move to the very last point, which is complete sentence B so that it has a similar meaning to sentence A. This is optional, by the way. Using the given words. Some students do not take this, but we tackle it for the sake of convenience. Doctors take care of their patients. Be patient. Be patient. We say they ... them. Look, is outside. So here we say doctors take care of their patients. The same way we say they look after them. They look after them. This means they take care of them. So number 2, the student found a new word yesterday. When he was reading, he found a new word. So we say, come outside. He ... a new word yesterday. He came across. To come across means to find by chance. This is, with regard to encyclopedia, with regard to dictionaries, with regard to the internet. We say, I surf the internet, not I read the internet. I surf the internet, and then I found, when surfing the internet, I found the word which is strange. I say, I came across a word which is strange. He came across a new word. Number 3, after her mother's death, her father took care of her. We say, bring up. She was brought up by her father. After her mother's death, her father took care of her. She was brought up by her father. Bring up. Yunshi. She was brought up. This is passive. Then, she refused to marry him after he asked her hand in marriage. We say, turn down. She turned down his request to marry her. Turn down. And let us have her engagement to Ali stopped all over. Engagement خطوبة فسخت الخطوبة. Break off. Their engagement broke off أو was broken off. You know, here we have options. خيارات. Their engagement broke off or was broken off by her parents or by one of them. They always do that. Some of them. Question 3. Now, let us have question 3 here. Choose the suitable preposition from the list to fill in the spaces below. 5 marks. 9 soldiers, 10 are born fools. This is, you know, a proverb. كمثل إنجليزي. 9 soldiers out of 10 are born fools. Number 2. Yesterday she went to see off, her mother, her mom. توديها يعني. To see off means to say goodbye to. Number 3. The police are looking into the case. Investigating يعني. Looking into the case. The pupil is playing with his toy on the table. Onto the table. You know, into and onto. The meaning might look like the same, but it is different. For example, the pupil is playing with his toy onto the table, means with movement. He dived into the river with movement. So let us have cheese is made from milk. Cheese is made from milk. And the last one, read the following text carefully. And then in your own words, as far as possible, write a summary, summary because you know about it. Your summary should be a connected piece of writing. For example, merchant advertise. This is about propaganda. Propaganda, الدعاية الإعلانية. Propaganda when you try to make advertisement on television. Merchants advertise on a number of social media. For example, for their goods. For example, on TV, on the internet, on their own pages, Facebook, and so on. Not only that, but they also appoint good-looking girls to attract customers and persuade them by welcoming them in a friendly way, in a friendly manner. So here, in not more than 25 words, summarize why do advertisers appoint ladies. You know, the answer is quite correct, it's quite easy. They appoint ladies so as to attract customers. And then you can rotate around that meaning. And the very, very, very last one is about literature where things fall apart. You know about it. I'm not going into details. So, dear students, here we came to the end. We have come to the end of our dealing for Thursday, you know, after tomorrow. So please prepare yourself, get ready, and God will help you. As we have helped you, we are all helped by Allah, the Almighty, the Omnipotent. Until then, I wish you all the best. With this, we conclude for now, and I hope to see you next year. Thank you very much. And thanks for the lady who is trying by hook and by crook and trying very hard to get illustrated this film to you. Thanks for her. Thanks, Asma. Thank you.